Warning: federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Tune in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Come join us on PGT Time. PGT Time. Join us on PGT Time. PGT Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Of the violence. And enough is enough. It stops right now.
With candles in their hands,
Our praying will not be in vain.
community members prayed for victims of gun violence and their loved ones.
Have your way, Lord.
In just 1 week, 5 people were shot and 4 were killed in Roanoke.
This around here is ridiculous. It gotta stop. Like every week, somebody is dying, and it don't make no freaking sense.
I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know. I know y'all like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why we keep seeing the background so long? I'm sorry, y'all. But hey, it's your girl, the Mrs. Baby. Y'all know that little glass is popping. It's popping, ain't it? I know. But thank y'all for joining us tonight, baby. We have a special edition, a special family on tonight. Y'all, I'm telling you, I told y'all already. If y'all been watching my page, I said you don't want to miss the show. I told y'all that. So I see y'all all out there tonight. I see y'all again. Thank you. But you know, I gotta bring up my co-host, my boy, my bruh. Yeah, he my brother. Not Corey, but the other one. So let's go ahead and bring up Jason, baby, in the building. Hey,
Excuse me.
Jason. What's
Yeah.
good with you?
Slow motion, man. Slow motion better than no motion. All motion, good motion. You hear me?
Yes. Chewy was back there. He was ready to bark. He ready to say
Yeah.
he already know what time it is. He
He
know.
said it's that
We
time.
got to
It's that
fight some
time.
crime tonight.
Exactly. We surely do. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Hope everyone is well. You know, we are on amongst of a good show, some good information, and look, people got to get their story out. That's what
Got
we're here
to,
for. We're
Jason.
here for them to tell their story because that's highly important, right?
And to spread awareness.
Is spread awareness. Now, if you guys are looking to spread awareness or if you guys want to be a part of the show, man, make sure you reach out to, Peachy on all social platforms to get yourself booked and locked in. But if you guys love what you are watching and you want to watch it on different places or different platforms, you surely can. Make sure you're following us over on the Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. You already know we over there on Instagram. So hello to all my Instagram people out there if y'all watching. Most importantly, if you guys want to, you can watch us on Roku TV. I had to double roll that one there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go ahead and watch us over on the Roku app. We are on all Roku enabled apps or televisions, right? Devices or televisions. So if you have a Roku TV, all you need to do is search for PGT Time, and that's time spelled with the Y, TYME. Just the same way you're going to search for Paramount, Hulu, Netflix, all of the Tubi, whatever that case may be, whatever you're looking for, you're going to search for CTV. You're going to search for PGT Time just the same way. You hear me? Now, before we move forward, I need y'all to do me a few favors. I need y'all to go ahead and hit those like buttons, those thumbs up, and also hit one of those heart me's. You know what I'm saying? That's over there on whatever platform it is, just to show us that you hear. And lastly, say something in the chat so we can say hello back to you. We all know that you here. Say something in the chat. Say something to the family members. We got the family in the building. Big shout out to all the people in the building. We got a PI, Mr. PI Jamal in the building. So if you know any of these guys, go ahead and say hello in the chat so we can go ahead and say bring it on screen.
Yes. Now, y'all, when I tell y'all, everybody watching everywhere tonight, okay? I'm getting messages on my phone from Messenger. So shout out to Angela. Hey, boo, what's up? And shout out to Aleda. They like, we over here on YouTube, baby. We over here on YouTube. So thank y'all for watching. We are streaming on 3 different Facebook pages, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and also our favorite Roku TV. Now, Instagram, you only get an hour. Okay? You only get an hour. So it would be best if y'all just head on over to YouTube right now. Or you can wait till your hour is up. Right about now, y'all probably got about a good 50 some minutes. 50 minutes, like 53 minutes. So you go on over there when y'all think time is up. Or you could just go ahead and just stay on there right now. And then when it's over, y'all just go ahead and go over to the other side. So, all right, Jason, are you ready for tonight?
We ready for the night, man. We ready.
We ready for tonight. I met me a new friend, y'all. I met me a new friend. Her name is LaShawn. And no, it's not spelled LASHWAN, baby. It is not. It's spelled LACIANN. Okay? And her mama here too, so she gonna tell us how she came up with that name and that spelling. Cause Jason always talk about me. I thank God I know LaShawn before she came up here. I thank God. Cause they know what tell her how I would have said her name, Jason. Ain't no telling.
No.
Okay, and I don't know what Jason just said, but maybe y'all heard and I didn't. So let's go ahead. We're gonna bring up the private investigator first, okay? Let's go ahead and bring him up. Y'all remember Jamar? I know y'all remember Jamar. Jamar has been on here before. I think y'all was messaging me after Jamar came on and was like, "Are you sure he a private investigator? Is he somebody asked me, was he a fitness trainer?" Is he a fitness trainer? So Jamar is back, baby. He has been covering this story. He is the investigator of this case. So we had to make sure we bring him on to, give us his side of everything just as well. So let's go ahead and give Jamar that doggone doorbell. Hey!
Hey, how y'all doing?
We are wonderful. How are you, Jamar?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Glad to be back on here.
Yes, and we are so glad to have you. So glad to have you.
Mhm.
Before you say anything, I got to make sure that I say this. Everything on this show, y'all, is alleged. Okay? Allegedly, and of course, our favorite, listen language. I hate to say that's our favorite, but that's how we do this. But Lamar, it's been a minute. How you doing?
It definitely been a minute. Been working hard, doing other things, body falling apart, but I'm here.
Oh, God got you here. God got you here.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all. Jamar been going through some things, but he been trusting in God,
Yeah.
and God is
Mm,
getting him back, healing him.
yeah.
And we are so glad because your job is
Mm-hmm.
not done. All right,
Yeah.
you got a lot
That's
of work
right.
to do. So
Yeah.
we are glad that you are here. Now,
Mm.
how long have you been working with this family?
Uh, about a year after NeSean had passed, I picked up the case after speaking with his family. I actually reached out to his mom when I first heard about him passing because I would see him at the movie theater a whole lot. We were
Mhm.
doing provide security to a local movie theater here, and I would see him a lot. Almost every weekend, he would come walk into the theater with one of his best friends, and I would let him come in and see the movies. He never caused any issues or whatever. He just, liked to talk about football, grandma and mama.
Grandma and mama. That's what I'm
Hmm.
talking about. Well, I'm glad that you was able to
Hmm.
connect with him. It's unfortunate, but me and Jason, of course, have never gotten a chance to meet him. But we are honored to have his mom, his cousin, and also his grandma here tonight. So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and we're gonna bring up Cuzzo. We're gonna bring up Cuzzo right now. So Cuzzo, it's your turn, Cuzzo.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's
Hello, everyone.
your turn, Cuzzo. Now we gotta give you that doorbell. You weren't supposed to come up this shit. I forgot. Sorry.
Oh,
There
I'm
go your doorbell. Hey.
sorry. How you doing?
We are fine. We are fine. AD is in the
Yes, ma'am.
building. Thank you so much for joining us, AD.
Of
Um,
course.
please tell us one of your fondest memories of NeSean.
Oh boy, there's several. Him and my son were very close, and I think probably one of my favorite moments of them is when they came and spent. He spent the summer with us when we lived in West Virginia, and him and my son really bonded, and he taught my son how to ride his bike,
Mm.
and they were about 2 years apart, so my son is younger, and we couldn't teach him how to ride the bike no matter how hard he tried. But when they came up to visit, we had stepped out for a little while, came back, and our son was riding his bike. And I'm like, asked my mom, like, what happened? Like, y'all was out there really practicing with him? She was like, no, his cousin taught him how to ride his bike. So, that was a pretty fond memory. And hey, Born Queen 116. I don't know. So, and then as just watching him grow and to become a man and a young man, and really getting to know his personality. He loved his family very much, especially his sisters. Uh they were the three musketeers. You anywhere you see his sisters, NeSean was right there. Uh, so he really loved his family. He was excited to finally be a big brother when his little sister came along, and just sorry that he didn't get the opportunity to really be a big brother. So yeah.
All right. Well, we are about to bring up Mama. Miss LaShawn is in the building. I am going to look. She like, hold on. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. She get nervous, girl. Don't get nervous. I told you. I said the most nervous you gonna be is sitting down there waiting. That's it. Am I right, Jason? That's the most nervous she gonna be is just sitting down there waiting to come up. So now is the time. We pray that you be able to get through this moment. I know you're gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're gonna make sure that all of us is here for you during this time just as well. Okay? Because it's not easy, y'all. Me and Jason tell y'all this all the time. It is not easy to come on Peach Tea Time and tell your loved one's story. But we make it as easy as possible. Okay? So it's her turn, y'all. It's her turn. Let me go ahead and give her that doorbell, baby. Yeah, she ready. She ready. Hi, NeSean. Hey, NeSean.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
Mama, we see you over there too, Mama. Hey. Mama said, LaShawn, LaShawn, LaShawn.
Hey,
Hey,
Peachy.
boo. Now, I definitely got to start off by saying my condolences to you and your family.
Thank you.
You will always be in my prayers. You know, I told you, I said we done linked up now. We gotta link up,
Yeah,
brother. We
you're okay.
gotta link
Make a little trip.
up. But thank you so much for
Thank
trusting me
you.
with NeSean's story. I really appreciate it. I don't know how many times you've been on the platform and told his story, but I appreciate you for trusting me. We've talked a long time ago, okay? A long time ago. And I always tell people that when it's time, it's time. I don't rush nobody.
Right.
I don't rush nobody at all because it's all on your time and on God's timing. And when God says it's time, people always circle back. And I'm right here with my arms wide open, door wide open, like it's the very first time we spoke. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And Jamar, again, I thank you just as well for bringing the family to me. So thank you. All right, LaShawn girl, let's get started. Tell
Right.
us about your baby boy, baby. Tell us about him. We'll get into what happened later on, but just fill us in from the beginning. Because you had two girls.
Yes, honey. So first off, I've had my first two girls, and it was already enough because I was a young mother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I was on that thing with a wing and a prayer, honey. And I turned around and I ended up pregnant again, and I remember going into my sonogram, and I cried all day because I said, if it's another girl, honey, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, I said, that's gonna be three girls. Oh my God, I can't do it. Cried the whole time. So my girlfriend was with me at the time, and she was like, first off, I just want to say, like, hey, please, like, if you could just tell her what it is real quick because she is crying, and then we can go through with the rest of everything. And as soon as she turned that little screen around, honey, and I seen that little Peter, I was like, thank God, because what I'm gonna do with another girl.
Now, the person right above you is Jason. Jason has three girls, no
Oh,
boys at all. So
look, it was the luck of the draw for him. I'm trying to tell you, I was like, but if it had been a third, that definitely was like, yeah, I don't know. So I ended up, he was the baby boy. His sister's birthday was July 26, 2004. I had him July 24th, 2006.
okay.
I was going home on the day of her birthday. So I left the hospital, went straight to the birthday party, and was like, this is just what it is. Like, and growing up, they would have their parties together. And then, when Damari turned 16, it was like, oh, I want to do my own thing or whatever. And so then it was like, you trying to grow up, like, oh my goodness. So it didn't matter because he was still showing up at the party too. He was like, no, I still want me a cake, your cake, everybody else's cake, and that was our thing. Like, it didn't matter. And then as they got older, he still celebrated his birthday on her birthday. She still celebrated her birthday on his birthday. And they, even though they did their own thing, they still celebrated together. So it was like they were twins without being twins.
Okay.
My baby loved football. I did at a young age try to let him try all the sports out. I didn't want to just all of a sudden be like, oh, the stereotypical, you're going to be a football player, you're going to be a basketball player. Like, he decided, I put him in everything. He was in track, he was in wrestling, he did baseball, he did football, he did all of that. And I let him make his decision, and he decided that he liked football, and that's what he put himself into. And my baby was good at it. He he did his thing. I was the type of mother that I'm like, hey, if your coaches is getting in your butt, that's what they gotta do, because I'm a single mother. I didn't have that all the time,
Mhm.
except with the side and the help of my daddy. Thankful enough that he still is stepping in to this day being a father to my kids. But so it took a village to raise my son, because it's hard when you growing up to raise a man, and you want to make sure that some of the stuff they need, you may not think that they need or know that they need, but deep down inside they need that. And it ain't nothing mama can give you but some love and show you how to cook and do all of that great good stuff and things like that. And I really thank my village for helping me raise my son. He would go out here, he would work on the car with my daddy, he did yard work, he did everything around the house that needed to do, took out the trash, he made sure that everything was good. He was like the protector of everybody. He was my baby. And even though he was 6'2", he knew like mama didn't play. I had to get that together early in line, because I'm like, yo, like I already know when you get older, you're gonna be way taller than me. I ain't but 5 foot and some change. What I look like? I'm gonna be swinging around your neck at 16 years old. So I can say my baby respected his mother. I'm not gonna get on here and say that he didn't do stuff that teenagers didn't do. I'm not gonna say my baby was a saint. You know what I'm saying? He was no,
Mhm.
but was my baby doing everything that he was supposed to do? He was doing everything he was supposed to do. He was going to school. He had him a job. Right before all of this, we had just went and got his ID. He was going to go and get his driver's license. He had already been talking about what car he wanted. Like my baby was doing everything that he was supposed to do for me to know that my baby was about to have a future. Like he was going to be okay. And the whole time my kids grew up with me, and it's always just been me and my kids. It me and my kids. Everywhere we go is me and my kids. If you see one, you see the other one, you see the other one. Like everybody was always together. And when I turned around and I had Lyric, it's like he finally got to be a big brother, and not because you 6'2". It was really because, oh, now you the big brother, and now you understand why your sisters hover over you like this, why they like, oh no, that's my, you know what I'm saying, that's the baby. Now he got to no longer be the baby and had a sibling above him that he was like, I mean below him, that he was like, oh, okay, so now I get it. And he loved her. Like he would have her in there. Now to this day, she loved Hawaiian rolls because of her brother. They would sit in there eating Hawaiian rolls, honey. He would be watching his football, and he would be showing her how to play on the controller. She ain't know nothing about nothing. And what I did know is he was like, she wasn't gonna cry around him. Like when I was over here trying to do her hair one day, and she was crying. And it's like, you ain't got but little baby hair. Let me put little puffs in. She walked around with one puff for the rest of the day because she cried, and her brother was like, you making my sister cry, and it's okay. And I'ma hold her, and she just gonna go around me with this one puff on the side of her head. So, I knew that he would I felt my son was gonna be great. Not just because he was mine, but just because he was going to be great. Like, you always want your kids to have everything in the world. You always want them to be a well-rounded individual. And I I was robbed of that. Somebody else chose to take that from me and my baby's future, and he just started to get little chin hairs, girl. He was out here about to start his little varsity football. And yeah, that was my baby.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, a lot of teenagers, once they get 15, I say 14, 15, 16, some of them, they fly right and some of them they may give mama and daddy some problems from here and there. Did you go through anything like that with NeSean? Just the typical being a teenager.
Now, he did that when he was like 10 and 11. You know what I'm saying? When he started, and then I had to bring it in. Because what I did not want, like I said, was to be trying to fight with a 6'2", 16-year-old. I already knew he wasn't going to be small. I already knew that. When you see in the community mothers who can't control their kids, and then they do just be out in the streets and be willy-nilly in and doing everything. My baby was at, you know what I'm saying, like he would come home, my baby, he'll be like, mama spending the night at such and such house. Oh, okay. 1 o'clock, he calling to be like, "No, never mind, mama, come pick me up." And you know what I'm saying? Or I get a call in the morning and he done went to my mama house or and slept over there. And you know what I'm saying? And he was not out in the streets doing anything. My baby was out here like cutting people's yards. He was hanging out with his family. He was fooling around with my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like going over there doing stuff because my mama then turned around here, went to Home Depot, decided she wanted to start a project and leave it in. Is my son over here having to paint the ceilings and pull down curtain rod. He was that type of kid. Now he did go and hang out with the boys, you know what I'm saying? He did do little stuff like that. You know, he did like some of the typical stuff. But did my child ever have me going down here, having to get him out of jail? Did he ever have like, girls over here talking about some 5 chicks showing up here pregnant by them? Like any of that? My son ain't. I did not have to deal with none of that. Like I was still cutting my son's toenails. He was still coming lay in the bed with me. It just
Mhm.
to be like, and he would be with his sisters. He was girl.
Everything. He was everything to you. Now I forgot to mention Charlotte is here, the counselor lady. That's Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte, this is LaShawn
Hey
and
girl.
her family. We
Hey
got
everyone.
yes,
Hey,
and up but
girl.
above you, Charlotte, is our private investigator. Jamar has been on here before. But I don't know if you was on with us when Jamar came on. I'm not sure, but this is his second time on here with us, so he's not gonna. This is not gonna be the last time. Jamar gonna come back on here again.
Right, because he gonna have to keep me in line. If I get back on here, he gonna have to come on here again.
Yes, girl. He say he gonna have to keep it low. Now, let's go ahead and go back to when you said that he did hang out with different type of people, young boys and everything. Was these boys that he was hanging out with, was they gang affiliated, or they was just the typical kids that
Just
he grew up
regular
with?
kids, like some of the people he played football with, some of the kids he knew from, in middle school. Our town isn't that big, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows somebody to know somebody to know somebody.
Mm,
So it wasn't nothing, not like that. My child was nowhere gang affiliated with anything. You know what I'm saying? He was gang divers. That's what he was doing over here. So he wasn't, out here doing anything like that. He wasn't out here like, doing nothing reckless. He wasn't out here like, stealing cars. He wasn't out here robbing people. He wasn't selling dope, nothing. He wasn't doing nothing like that. He was just a regular kid. So
regular kid. All right, all right. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a news broadcasting clip. All right. What she said? We gonna play a news broadcasting clip. When we come back from this news broadcasting clip, we're gonna go ahead and start with the story on what happened. So we're gonna start with the particular day at hand, when y'all woke up. Like did something seem strange that day? Did something come over your body that day? Did you have a dream the night before? We want to know all that. We want to know all that. So let's go ahead and play this clip. And then we're gonna let Jamar speak too, just as well. So here we go.
NeSean Divers was 16 years old when he was shot and killed. Right now, he should be preparing for prom and getting his cap and gown for graduation. But instead, I talked with his mother, Lushan, to see the failures she still sees in the system when it comes to preventing gun violence after her son's death.
The way he came in, he was in his mama's arms when he left.
Lushan Divers carries a piece of her son, NeSean, wherever she goes.
For somebody else to decide that I was done being his mother.
NeSean was shot and killed in 2022. He was only 16 years old.
I felt myself die right along with it, and I haven't been the same since.
Shortly after NeSean's death, Attorney General Jason Miyares announced Operation Ceasefire. It focuses on prevention, intervention, and prosecution when it comes to gun violence. And across the state, the numbers show a drop in Virginia's murder rate by 17%.
We can see real results being delivered for individuals.
But Roanoke is seeing different results, with a 56% increase in murders. Divers tells me even though Operation Ceasefire is putting an emphasis on prosecution, she's not seeing that. No arrests were ever made in her son's case, even though she tells me there were only 2 people with him at the time of his death.
You say what you need to say, but until you actually living in the core of it and it actually happens to you in your home, your backyard, your uncle's house, whatever, when it hits you close, that's when you realize there's a problem.
She tells me change will really come when the people behind Operation Ceasefire start treating each case as if it's their own child. If you could say something to them as a mother who has lost their child to gun violence, what would you say to them?
You may get 20 on your desk a day, you may get 2 on your desk a day. Every child, you should look at them as that's your child. And work your case accordingly to that. Try and do everything that you possibly can and devote your time. And if you need help, say you need help.
Lushan tells me she'll continue to fight.
All right. So, LaShawn, let's go ahead and let's get this thing going, baby. Let us know what happened that day. What happened that day when y'all woke up? Because he was living with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He ain't in the streets.
He be staying with grandma. He be staying with auntie, uncle.
All my kids got to be under the feathers, honey. I got to know where they at. They grown now, and I still got to know where they at and smell them and see them every day. Because now I'm extra crazy. So
you're not extra crazy, just a little extra protective. You're not extra crazy at all. Because I think we all would be like that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, let us know what happened in the beginning.
So it was Saturday morning, and one of the individuals was at the house that morning. And it wasn't nothing for his friends to come over to the house and hang out and all of that. And I kind of felt that in myself as being like, hey, if at least this way, if y'all here, I can be a little more comfortable. I know what's going on. That type of stuff. Y'all want to eat. Y'all want to have snacks. I go get some Gatorade. Y'all playing the game. Y'all good? You straight? All right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if I had NBA Youngboy or Pop Smoke playing upstairs or whatever was going on. Because you know what? They in the house.
Okay.
And so he came, the little boy was over here one night, and my mama had came over, and it was just, my mama said she just had a weird little, feel of the day. But to me, I was like, they always over here. It's no biggie. So, he already had an appointment to get his hair done. He had to go to the barbershop because my son was fancy, y'all. He was fancy, y'all. Some of these little pictures, he gonna be like, Ma, you couldn't have put nothing there. Baby, it's all right, he fancy, he girl. So I had told him, I said, well, tell them they need to go home. You got to start getting yourself together and stuff like that. So the boy left. He went with my mama real quick because he wanted some sausage gravy. And, he always got what he wanted from my mama. It didn't matter. She'll turn around here and go out here and pluck the chicken herself and kill it if that's what he wants. You know what I'm saying? So she went out there. He had got some sausage gravy made that morning. He came back. He took a shower, and I took him over to my cousin's to get his hair done. And then it was now I look back on it, it's weird because he's seen people that he didn't normally see that day. So when he pulled up at my cousin's house, he ended up seeing his aunt and his uncle. And they talked to him a little bit or whatever. I'm like, "You good, baby? You good?" He was like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna get my hair done, all of that stuff." So he went, he got his hair done. He called me and told me he was ready. I went and picked him up. We went to the hood store. He wanted some hot dogs and some fries. So we went over there. We got us a little something. We ate. Came back to the house. He had talked to his sister. His sister had pulled up. They was, roughhousing a little bit in the yard. The neighbor across the street came over, and they was just we would just had like a conversation. We was just, um. So all of that, he got himself together. I went and picked up one of his, um, I guess like an associate, because at the time he was a friend, but after going through all of this, if he was really his friend, he should have moved differently or whatever. So we picked up his friend, him, they went over, I dropped him off at the barbershop. He was at his cousin's barbershop. They be over there parlaying all the time. So and then they just so happened to have opened up this little clothing store beside the barbershop. So he was like, Ma, they got these J's in there. Like, I want to get them, blah, blah, blah. First off, my son was like a size 12 shoe. So you already know a Jordan ain't going to be cheap.
So ain't.
So, my son had also too had got to the point where he had got him a job and he was making his own little money. And I'm like, whatever you want to do, babe, you know what I'm saying? So he was talking about it. He was like, Ma, this, let me get these shoes and blah, blah. I was like, fine. Cause just the weekend before we had just came back from Richmond. And he had went and he had got some clothes. He had bought him a new book bag. Like, he was ready. And so I was like, babe, you want to get the shoes? Fine, get the shoes. Y'all call me when you're ready. So he goes to the barbershop, he hangs out, he does his little thing and stuff. He called me, he ready. So I pick him and his friend up, and I dropped the friend off because he had to be to work. And then my son came home and he was like, Mama, get myself together, take a shower, because then he wanted to get fresh and he got game plan. So I go to the grocery store and stuff like that. And then I come back and I had already like kind of cleaned up the house. It's fall time. So earlier while he was out doing his thing, I had cleaned. I had, I got the fall candles burning. Like, it's just it was home. So I came in, and before I got home, he texted me, he said, Ma, can my friends come over? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, just let me know. I'll be there in a little bit. So I pull up, and the time I walk in and stuff like that, the boys is coming through the back door. And two of them, it was the dude from earlier that day, and then they brought this other little boy who had just started hanging out with him. I maybe had seen him like 2 times or whatnot. So they coming through the door and they like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, well, what's up? How y'all doing? And Sean was like, Mom, we gonna go back here. I'm gonna try and get my TV together and we gonna play the game. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. So he looked around, he said, oh, you done bought some shrimp? I said, yeah. He was like, you ain't gonna fix me none? I was like, sure, babe, I'll fix you some shrimp. You know what I'm saying? I'll fix you a little something, put it together and stuff like that. So, love you too, Keith. So I turned around or whatever. I put this little stuff in the microwave and get that together. He ran across the street to talk to one of the neighbors, and the 2 boys were still chilling in his room. So I go downstairs in my room. Lyric at the time, she just turned 1 not that long ago. And so I'm downstairs trying to lay her down, girl, watching the first 48. And my son come back from across the street and he come downstairs and he like, Mom, you want to take me to the store? And I was like, man, your daughter, your sister in here sleep. I was like, she sleep. She, she's trying to go to bed. So what's going on? And I said, y'all got snacks upstairs. He was like, yeah, but Mom, I don't want them eating up all my food. And I was like, I said, yeah, I get it. So then after that, he had stumped his toe earlier that day. And I know I had asked him about it. I said, well, Sean, what's going on with your foot? And so he pulls his socks off, and I'm like, why your toenails look like this? Like, oh my God. You know, I was like, come on over here, lay down here, let me cut your toenails. So he laying there, he cutting his toenails, and I told him, I said, well, ask your sister if she can come and get you and take you to the store. You know, I said, because, you know, Lyric is almost asleep, and that's just, you know, she almost about to get off. They hung out anyway. They would always do their thing. They, you know. So
How old was his sisters?
let's see, at the time that would be Nautica was 20 and Namari had just turned 18. She had just graduated.
Girl, let me give you a hand clap first of all. Cause baby, you do not look like you had two grown daughters.
My name when they say that
Oh
back
my
on
God.
crack.
It don't crack. Oh my God. That's amazing.
But
But
thank
okay.
you.
20 and
So
18.
yeah, so he was laying there with the phone. He was like, yeah, mom, she said that she gonna take me to the store when she get here. She on the way. He was like, hurry up and finish my toes and stuff. He was like, is they upstairs in my room? And I, you know, I said, it's all right, it's all right. So at the meantime, he was playing with Lyric a little bit, and he was like, all right. And I had just said something to him about how I don't have pictures of him in my phone. And I was like, you be out here being fancy. I'm pretty sure you be out here sending them little girls your pictures. Like, you don't send me no pictures. He was like, Mom, okay, I'm going to send you some pictures. I'm going to send you some tomorrow. I'm like, okay, because, you know, you out here being fancy. So he goes upstairs. I go to get in the bed, and I heard, pow! I jump out the bed. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So one of the boys run downstairs and say, call 911, Sean been shot. And I'm like, what you mean he been shot? So then my son run down the stairs behind him, and he got his shirt off, and he like, Mom, I been shot. And I don't even know where the fuck my brain went. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean? So I was like, call 911. I could not find my phone, which didn't make no sense. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't find it. I'm going all through the sheets. He's standing and looking at himself in the mirror, like looking at the gunshot. He hear the door shut and the boy runs outside. My son runs out behind him. I called 911. I said, hey, I need an ambulance to my address. My son been shot. And at that time, I just ran outside to be like, where's my son? You know, so I don't see him. I don't see him. I'm like, where's my son? He runs up to me. He say, Mom, I can't breathe. And I'm like, babe, wait. And he fall out in front of me. And I'm over him trying to like stop the bleeding. I'm in healthcare, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. At that time, I thought of all the 50 things that I needed to do to try and save my baby. Like, okay, I need to apply pressure. I need some oxygen. I need like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I thought that I could try to do to save my baby. And he took one last breath and he called me. He said, Mom. And my baby closed his eyes on me. When I tell you I felt my life leave my body, like it left. When he took his breath, it left. And I just tried to be like, don't do this. Like, don't do this. Like, babe, what it none of what happened was registering at that time. I just remember looking up at the door to see if to make sure my baby wasn't coming out. I remember hollering at the people on the phone to be like, hurry up. Like, what is you doing? Like, my son is dying in front of me. Like, what are you doing? And then the dude is just standing over on the side, just holding the phone, like, telling them that my son shot himself. I I tried to perform CPR on my baby, if I could have took my life out of B and put it in him, I would have. Like, my baby was gone. Um, the police showed up. They tried to pull me off of my son. I said, until somebody jump off of an ambulance and know what they doing, can get off of here and try to save my baby, I'm not gonna stop trying to save him. Like, I'm not gonna stop doing it. The EMT people came. All it is at the time, the police officer pushed me off my child. I had an issue with them. I jumped straight on the boy. I tried to take his head off. I was like, because what did you do? Like, what did you do? What did you do? My baby was just, what did you do? I called my mama. All I could say was Sean been shot. I called his sisters. All I could say was Sean been shot. They wouldn't let me back in my house. They wouldn't let me get a pamper, a bottle, a purse. They put my baby in their ambulance. All I knew was I was in, like, not real. Like, I wasn't there. I was there, but I won't there because what do you mean this is happening? Like, what do you mean this is my life right now? What is going on? Like, y'all really putting yellow tape around my house. It's really an ambulance. Like, it's my mom and my daddy showed up. My daughters showed up. One of them got sick, started just throwing up everywhere. My other one fell out on the floor. I don't. They told me I couldn't go back in the house. They was like, you can follow the ambulance if you want. Your house is now a crime scene. And all I knew was somebody put me in the car and I need to get to the hospital because, he gonna get there and I'm gonna see him. He gonna have some tubes, we're gonna have some, some drops, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be all right, okay, because this ain't happening. So we gonna get to the hospital. He gonna be okay. I get to the hospital and they put me in that damn room. And I just kept waiting and praying and waiting and praying and praying and talking to God and waiting and praying. My girlfriend showed up. We just sitting there trying to get together. That surgeon came through that door with the police officer. And I'm over here thinking they're gonna say, okay, Miss Davis, what's going on? We're gonna escort you to his room. We're gonna do this, that, and the third. They told me we did all that we could do, Miss Davis, to save your son. When I tell you I don't know what came over me, I tried to choke the surgeon out because I was like, what do you mean he dead? So now this is your fault. This your fault because you didn't save my child. Like, what do you mean you did all you could do? What did you do? Tell me what you did. What in your book of knowledge did you do? What did you do? Did you put a trach in? Did you try to give him blood? Like, what did you do? Did you apply all the pressure? Was he talking to you? What did y'all do? Because to me, I felt like y'all should have saved my baby. I completely died after that. Like, this person right here, this is LaShawn, but the LaShawn that was the mother of them 4 kids, she died that day. I felt my soul leave my body. Everybody came to the hospital. It won't no words. It won't no words. It's like once everybody walked in, they already knew what it was. And the whole the whole time after that, I don't know. I remember I kept the same outfit on that I had on that day for like 3-4 days. I went to sleep and woke up crying and screaming and hollering because I was like, it came back to reality that it wasn't a dream. My son was really gone. He was really not coming back. He's not, this is really his blood on me. This is really like, what do you mean? He's gone. I don't know. Like I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. I could not believe that my baby was gone. And in my head, I thought that, oh, okay, you got justice. Oh, something is going on. We gonna figure it out. Like, let me get my mind right. Figure it out. And I came home that Monday because I just knew I wanted to go home. I didn't care that he was shot here. I didn't care what was going on. I just knew I needed to be in my safe space and I needed to be home. I pull up. My baby's AirPod is still in the grass. The shirt that we was trying to use to save him was still in the grass. I had went in the house. Luckily, my daddy and my best friend's husband had came over here and kind of cleaned up whatever was going on before I got here. And I went in my bathroom to take a shower and I heard my son as clear as day say, "Ma, I didn't mean for this to happen." And he was like, "I'm sorry." It could have just been me in my head. I don't know. But when they tell you that when somebody wants to speak to you, and if they want to, you're going to hear it. I heard it like clear as day. And then I knew like a little bit it was I wasn't at peace, but I knew my baby knew that this won't supposed to happen. Like what? And from that point forth, it was like I gotta make some moves. Like somebody is gonna be held accountable. Just like everybody say, if something was to ever happen to one of my kids, if something was to happen, I would do this, I would do that, da 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 da. When you're there and you got all of what you got, losing your shit ain't the first thing that you were able to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a step back and be like, okay, like, and it was hard. It was hard. The detectives came that day. They came and they was like, we're gonna do everything that we can do and blah blah blah. And at that time, that's what I told Detective Patty. I said, look, I want you to know something. My son went out here selling dope. He went out here in the streets. He didn't get shot out here doing something he ain't had no business. My baby got shot in the house. In the house. We weren't in here, doing anything. We was not, it was my baby shrimp was still in the microwave, y'all. Like
Mm.
we wasn't it was nothing like that. And I told him, I said, I just need justice for my baby. And I said, because something's not right. Like something not right. Like he did not do this. Like something's not right. And from that point forth, um Jamaica.
The dog named Jamaica, y'all. Jamaica.
And she would bark like she's a 200-pound pit bull, and she thug girl. She ain't. But
I wanna say something, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to say this. The way you explained that story, oh my gosh, it probably wasn't a dry eye that was watching this. Like you literally put us in that moment, literally.
I live it every day, though, Peach.
We've had so many families on Peachy Tea Time. But baby, the way you just told that story, the way you let us know how you felt, the everything that was going on inside of you. Wow. AD, when you heard what happened, take us back to when you heard what happened.
Oh, well, my cousin and I talk almost every day. So earlier that day, I had to work. So, I got off at 11 o'clock and I told her, I'm going to call you when I get off of work and on my drive home. It's about a 30-minute drive. So it's always time for a nice conversation. Um, that day was a hard day on the job and I just was, I'll call her tomorrow. It was just, you don't really think about it, right? So I got home, was getting ready for bed, and she had kept calling me back to back to back. And my cousin never calls me back to back to back to back. And I said, "Oh well, let me just answer it." She's probably upset with me because I didn't call her when I got off of work, and I let her fuss me out later. Uh, Miss Peachy, man, I said, cousin, I'll call you right back. I'll call you right back. And she's just crying and screaming. She tells me, NeSean's been shot. What? What do you mean? Like, I'm thinking she's, this, not that he's has a bullet going through his chest and he done bled out. And she says it again and she's crying and crying. So I'm like, okay, well, where are you? She's like, I'm on the way to the hospital. I said, oh boy, are you driving? And she's like, no, my mom was driving, my auntie. I said, okay, okay. And she's telling me kind of what happened, and they're on the way to the hospital, and and I'm telling her, all right, when you got to kind of get yourself together because when the doctors come through the door, they're gonna want to talk to you. Okay, I hear you, cousin. Okay, and the next call I got was from I called my parents. We're a very close family. So I called my parents, her aunt and uncle, and I tell them what's going on. And I'm waiting for him to, he's at the hospital and, they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. Then my aunt Nancy called me and, she told me he was gone. I said, what you mean? Like, they moved him to a different hospital. They, no, you don't hear your cousin. And I'm like, he's gone. Like, then the doctors came, and we're all trying to process it. And at the time, I have to, tell my son and my husband, and I tell my husband first, and then we go and tell my son, and I mean, he was crushed, shattered. And I'm like, well, I want to know what happened because it's like, we just saw each other a week ago. We were at a family get together. We had taken pictures. The boys was bonding. They went go-karting. My son was so happy because, he was getting to the age where he could finally hang out with his older cousin. They were really close when they were little. We live a couple states away. And but we always try to make time to see each other. Holidays, birthdays, just regular days of cookouts and stuff. And like I said, they had just came up when she mentioned they were in Richmond. We were at a cookout and was having a good time. And you know, I didn't think that was going to be the last time I would see my little cousin NeSean. All of us. So, and it's been hard on my cousin. She has most definitely changed, but I'm also very proud of her for standing up and being an advocate for her son through all of this, through trying to be there for her daughters, be there for her parents, um, because I know that because I've talked to her to where, we're just like walking around in circles together, trying to figure out, what to do. And, you know, I, I have been with her, you know, we've been together for a long time. And I know that, that crushed her, it
Mhm.
changed her, but she's being an advocate, like I said, for her son, for the other mothers out there, and I'm proud of her. I look up to her, and I admire her strength. And I hope one day when I grow up, be a strong woman like my cousin. I
Yeah.
love you, girl.
I love you too, man.
Aw. All right. Now we are going to bring up the private investigator, Jamar. Um, Jamar,
Hmm.
LaShawn, I'm assuming may have reached out to you or you have reached out to her. Take us back to how y'all linked up. Let's say it like
Okay. Yeah. So once I heard, I'd actually seen it on Facebook uh, that he had passed away, and when I seen it, I'm like, nah, because like maybe I think like 3 weeks prior, I had just finished cutting the grass at my mom's house, and I seen NeSean and his little friend D. Like NeSean was, he like you said, he's 6'2". D was about 3'2". So seeing them come down the street together, they were walking where my mom lived at. It was a long ways from where they were going, but they were bouncing the basketball, and I had just finished cutting her grass, so I said, where y'all going? I said, I'll drive y'all there. And they was like, oh, we going all the way over to Lincoln Terrace, go play basketball so we can get the best games at. I said, I'll take y'all over there. So it was just, like a chance to talk to them other than them always seeing me in, a gun and a uniform. You know what I mean? So we laughed and talked, all the way over there, stopped by the store, got them, a couple of drinks and some chips, just so I knew they had snacks and stuff while they were over there playing. And he was talking about like getting stronger, for football, and he wanted to start lifting weights. And we were just talking. He said I'm gonna go to college. He just started naming stuff. During that maybe 10, 15 minute ride, he talked about a lot of stuff. So when I heard that, they was like, yeah, it was suicide, and I'm like, nah. So I immediately reached out to her through Facebook, and I'm like, hey, just showing my condolences. Let me know if there anything I could do. And the message just went unread for a long time. And finally, one day, like I say, it was about maybe 10 months later, she reached out to me, and we've been talking ever since. I went through, came to see her, took some notes, was able to talk to her, and that's when she, hired me, as the private investigator to go back through the case.
All right.
Hmm.
Now, as a private investigator,
Hmm.
I don't know how much you can tell us.
Hmm.
You did send me some audio.
Hmm. Hmm.
We got some audio, y'all. We got some audio. Okay, let's make sure we
Hmm.
make that clear.
Hmm.
So, for y'all that just feel like y'all was about to just step in for a hot second, I think you want to stick around for the whole show. So, we got some audio. Okay. So, and we're gonna talk to your mom too, LaShawn, when she's ready to talk to you. We're gonna talk to her because we want to ask her a couple questions too. But Jamar, tell us
Uh,
what was your findings behind the story?
okay, so I'm and I let people know once I'm hired, like I'm gonna give you 100%. I'm gonna give you all of me, but my story, my job is to get to the truth. And That's what I got to was the truth. I did find out some things. I did find out that, the gun did belong to NeSean. It was his gun. He did purchase that gun. No, he should not have had it. He did have that gun. So the gun was his. Um, However, that does not mean that he should not be here because he got a gun illegally.
Exactly.
And his mom, she was aware of that. She had no idea about that until I told her. So,
Okay.
going through the case, she did relay some information to me pertaining to like as far as like shell casing and stuff. There was a shell casing that was still in his pillow that she found a month later that was overlooked during the investigation.
Let me stop
She
you right there. I'm
okay,
sorry, Jamar. Let me stop you
okay.
right. Let's say that. We have to say this before you finish.
Mm-hmm.
LaShawn, this case is closed right now, correct?
They ruled my son's death as an accidental suicide
An accidental suicide.
because the
So,
boys that were here when the police arrived told them that he shot his son.
okay. So I want to make sure we say that. His death was ruled as an accidental suicide. Okay. So let's go. And it was two people in the room with him, two young men.
In his room with him, and he was laying down in his bed eating his Cheetos, drinking his Gatorade.
Okay.
Because the only thing that was found on my baby's finger was some Cheeto dust. Okay,
Okay.
not no gunshot residue, nothing like that. Cheeto dust. Okay, so my baby was laying down. They found the bullet in his pillow in his bed, and my baby was shot right here, and he was right handed. So that right there in itself didn't even make no sense. But who am I? Only thing I see is the investigators on TV. I don't know nothing. So my question is like, if you don't listen to me, maybe you'll listen to somebody who was, got the whole credentials to do this type of stuff.
Which is
So,
Mr. Jamar.
and when I tell you, I feel like my son laid him on my heart to reach back out to him because, like Jamar said, the messages went unread. When everything happened with my son, I didn't. I got a whole bunch of messages. I did not respond to everybody. I really, in my head, did not want to believe that this had happened to me. So anything being like, "Oh, my condolences," and I'm sorry, and all that. What do you? But one night I was laying in my bed and my son was like, "Mama, go through your Facebook." And I'm like, "Where am I going?" So I went on his page, looked at some of his little pictures and stuff. I was like, "Oh yeah, you cute, you handsome. Look at you. I can't believe it." And then I went through my messages and Jamar's message was right there. And he had reached out and he was like, "I'm so sorry. If you need me for anything, let me know." And I knew that, Jamar would, we would run into each other here and there, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? What you doing?" You know what I'm saying? And when Sean would come back, and he got snacks and I'm going to the movies, and we was doing. How you even getting in the movies? You ain't even saying nothing to me about it. Like, what you talking about? Man, don't worry about it. I got a little thing going on. And I'm like, okay, son, you know what I'm saying? So I knew, this is how I knew Jamar. And then I also knew him from the church. You know what I'm saying? I know his mama, I know his sisters. Like, I knew him. So when it was laid on me to reach out to Jamar, and I was like, and I texted him right then and there. It was in the middle of the night. And I said, I know this is late. I know, but if you can reach out to me, because by this time I had already had met with the Commonwealth attorney and the detective, and that's when they had told me that they ruled my son's death as an accidental suicide.
All
And
right.
even when I asked them questions that made sense, they couldn't give me no answers to my questions. And they just kept coming back with a roundabout BS and more words to say. And then at that time, that's when Caldwell said, "If you can bring me back some evidence that proves that he did not do this, then I will open up the case. We will go ahead and make another look at this." So I had I felt like all of this was in the works because I'm like, oh, great, now I get this second chance. Jamar know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this thing together. Let's do what we got to do because clearly the detective didn't know what was going on. If you showing up to my house a month after my son already then had a memorial and he is in the urn and I didn't slept in the bed, and then that's when I realized something wasn't right. And he shows up and there's a bullet in my son's pillow. And
Mm.
I'm like, hold on. Like what we gonna see, like wasn't nothing making no sense. But this is so common around here that, my son, just kind of got wrote off like this. And I felt like it was God and my son working together to put me with Jamar to be like, no, you know what I'm saying? Jamar know me. You know what I'm saying? My mama already know I ain't doing this. Like, no, mama, speak for me. Like, something got to come out of this. And I told Jamar that when I had talked to him, I was like, it won't nothing but my son and God that laid this together because I would have never went through my messages. I went all the way back. That was September of 2022. I reached out to him in 23, and I was like, it's honey, and all I can say is he been there. You know what I'm saying? He be having to stir me back around here and stuff like that. But Jamar definitely know what he's doing. I have put my son's whole life and stuff in his hands, and I appreciate everything that he did. Yeah, during the investigation, I did find out some things about my son that I did not know, and specifically, yes, him having a gun. Like, cause why? Like why? But then from what it was, he felt like he had to protect the house. He was the man of the house. And with, the way that the generation is now and things like that, I'm still raising my kids like I was when I was brought up in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? My kids couldn't get no cell phones till they was like 15 years out. You know what I'm saying? My daughter couldn't get her nose pierced until she turned 18. So to me, I wasn't really all into what is going on with the young people in the world at my son's age when I was just seeing it as this is our world and everything should have been okay. So when that part did be revealed to me, it hurt, because I'm like, I would have done anything, to stop any of that. I would have, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I would have, I would have took it. I would have, shoot, I would have gave it to my mom and she would have had to turn it in. I don't know. He would have just had to be mad at me. But I would have saved his life, not knowing that this was going to be what took his life.
Exactly.
And, so I even learned other things about my son and his death and his body and what all went on that I also didn't want to know about. So I want to thank Jamar for being my shield. Because he's taken a lot for me. Like he has shielded me of some things that he know, like when I tell him I don't want to hear this, or I tell him I don't want to see that, or we're not going to talk about that. And he's like, no, LaShawn, like, look, like, come on, we gotta sit down, we gotta do this, we gotta get this together, I need you to look at this, I need you to hear this, you know what I'm saying? And I think what messed me up I was probably messed up for like a week and some change is when he actually told me about my son's autopsy report. Like that crushed my soul because, like I said again, me being in healthcare, about people's bodies, all of this. So to know that it took my baby out, it punctured his lung, it took out an artery, it broke a rib, like one gunshot wound took my baby out of here. And I was like, I thank him for being the one to be able to go in there and make the maneuvers and do the calls and doing all of that because when it's levels to this. It's levels to it. Half of the levels I can't even get on that elevator yet. So I just thank Jamar for stepping ahead of me and doing what he needs to do and knowing what's right and what's wrong and still coming back to me and keeping me updated. And even to this day, even after everything, he here right now. He ain't got to be. He here. He wants to do it. You know, that's like, oh, like
We love Jamar. We love Jamar over here.
bring it
So
on.
we're gonna bring him back.
Let me let him say his thing. I'm sorry, I'm be quiet.
You so crazy. Y'all, LaShawn is me and LaShawn been talking for a while, y'all. So that's why we laughing.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, Jamar. Finish up. Let us know, what your findings were.
Yeah. And after I got started on everything, like I knew it in my heart of hearts that NeSean, did not kill himself. And, like I said, I was able to go through, all of the police body cam. It's like 8 to 10 hours of footage. Went through the autopsy report. Once I seen the autopsy report and I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute, like the autopsy report clearly states that there was no soot or stifling anywhere around the wound. Anytime that there is a gunshot wound of close contact, there's going to be soot or stippling that's going to come from the gun, that's going to be on the clothing, it's going to be on the skin. There'll be some, type of muzzle burn. It was none of that. The Dr. Susan Thorpe, that's the medical examiner's name, she made it crystal clear in the autopsy report that, he did not shoot himself. She said she checked me very quick when I said, well, I know it was ruled an accidental suicide. She said, wait a minute. She said, I never said that. She said, there is no such thing as an accidental suicide. And I have been hearing that for years, just, about different cases. Because, of course, suicide is suicide. If you're going to kill yourself, it's not accidentally, like that's something that you're going to set out to do and that you're going to do it. And, of course, while listening to the body cam, I was able to pick up on one of the body cam footage. This is when the 18-year-old was taken downtown. Eventually, he was taken downtown. The 15 to 16-year-old, the other kid, was allowed to go home where he hid for 2 weeks. But going back to the 18-year-old, he was downtown and he was just like trying to just tell a story. He was being loud with it, but it was not making any sense. But then he states that, oh yeah, he said he was out of his mind. Now I'd already talked to Sean and she had told me like, hey, I done my son's fingernails, I done his toenails. He talked to us like, she had no idea that she would be doing her son's fingernails and toenails for his own funeral. She would have never let him leave out that room had that would have been something she had known. And he said that NeSean was out of his mind and they were begging and pleading with him. Now, you mean to tell me all this took place in a minute? And NeSean was also on FaceTime with someone, when he was shot. So, she forgot to tell y'all that earlier. He was on FaceTime with someone at the time. And NeSean was right-handed. So how could he have reached all the way around, shot himself in the neck, and the bullet to come out below his shoulder blade right here on the right-hand side and come out? That gun would have recoiled this way, went that way. It would have hit him everywhere but in the neck, And on top of that, it would have been gunshot residue would have been all over his hand. The blood from the gunshot wound would have kicked back onto that gun. All of this stuff would have showed. None of this showed. And he also made the statement that, oh, he put the gun to his chest and just pulled the trigger. So there's a big difference between the middle of your chest and your neck. That's just, it can't happen. I've talked to people in ATF. I've talked to people other different, places. Like, it's no way that could have happened. Like he would have had to have somebody come, hold, to help him pull his trigger. That gunshot came from more than an arm's length away, and it came at an angle. And like when I'm doing an investigation, I pray, and I ask God just to lead me, to find the right, answers to get stuff that can be proven, and everything I found can be proven. Everything I found, because when it's the truth, all you got to do is show it. So going back to NeSean's friend, D, I'm just gonna say his name because he said he was his best friend. Uh, I spoke to him numerous of times, and he just kept telling me. He said, "Mr. Fuel," he said, "you need to talk to one of the guys in the room." He said he wants to talk. Matter of fact, he reached out to Sean several times to tell her that one of the young men in the room wanted to come by and sit down and talk with her and tell her everything that happened in the room that night. And it just like he would tell her he was going to come, then he didn't show up. He would tell her he was going to come, then he never would call. So family, NeSean's best friend was like, hey, he wants to talk and he wants to tell the truth. And after I talked to him, he broke down and told me the truth. He said that night that the other individual that was in the room, he said, that he liked to play with the gun. He said he had played with the gun on numerous occasions, and he said before NeSean was shot that night and killed, he said that the guy had actually pointed the gun at him. He said so. He pushed the hand away, telling him like man, don't point the gun at me. So when he pushed it away, he just took the gun, turned it around, and NeSean had just came in the room and I guess kind of dove on the bed, like let them know, like I guess they were ready to go to the store. And he just pointed the gun at him first. Then when he pushed it away, he took it at him and pulled the trigger. And he said when it went off, like it just, it caught everybody off guard. And he said that NeSean kind of like grabbed his, up here saying like, man, I've been shot. And that's when the other guy ran out the room, and NeSean took off running behind him. So I think NeSean probably
So
thought
when
he
did
was.
the third person run?
He stayed behind.
Oh, he stayed. Okay.
Yeah. See, they stayed behind, and what they done was they staged the room, and staged to try to make it look like it was a suicide. So you had a 15-year-old and a 18-year-old that was able to stage a scene like that, And this is the thing right here. Okay, like, no, you didn't wake up that morning and plan to kill NeSean, but you did kill NeSean. Like you did kill him. 18 years old in the Commonwealth of Virginia, you're considered a grown man. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, we all know right from wrong. You did kill him. Although it was his gun, you did kill him. Like there are numerous of charges that that he could be charged with. Involuntary manslaughter. I think like malicious wound. Like it's a lot of charges. I'm not the Commonwealth attorney, so I don't want to be stating the wrong thing, but I know involuntary manslaughter is a charge. Tampering with a crime scene. It was that obstruction of justice. It's a lot of stuff that that you could be held accountable for. And
I'm sorry. Do anyone know you, LaShawn, or Jamar, or even AD? Do anyone know how NeSean got this gun? Because he was only 16 years old.
Yeah, I let Jamal look into all of that because, like I said, I didn't even know he read the damn thing.
No.
So when he started talking and going through it, what I'm saying, ain't nobody even really even say who he got it from. And then for what they call it, it's a ghost gun, which means there's nothing to track the daddy to anybody.
Okay.
So it just.
Okay. Go ahead, Jamar.
But like when I first started the case, and his sister, she was honest with me. She told me, she was like, I did take him to go get the gun. She was trying to be a big sister and protect her brother and not tell mama like my brother. She was she's trying to be a big sister. And I think it was just a lesson to be learned from this. It's like, times like we we got to tell. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many things that he could still probably still be here that happened that could have prevented it. But the main thing is that somebody need to be held accountable. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Somebody
Like,
did this.
like, because it's I probably know 30 kids right now that got a gun, and they all still walking around Roanoke. That don't mean they shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like, when you talking to somebody, if not every Saturday, every other Saturday, and I mean they living and breathing football. Thinking they got some muscles. I mean, just holding up this little muscle every week. Wanting to do push-ups in the middle of the movie theater. You know what I mean? And it's like you're talking to somebody. You're like, man, I can't wait to see where this kid ends up in 5 years. He's telling me that he can throw a football further than me. And I'm like, well, dang, you must can throw. And so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he's going to do, and what I'm hoping for today. On this platform is I'm hoping that the two mothers of them other two young men see the pain that LaShawn is going to, because guess what? Them two mothers going to still be able to hug, kiss their son. They'll still be able to support them, even if they do have to go do time somewhere. She's not going to be able to get that back. No amount of time that they get will ever bring her son back. I'm just hoping that them mothers will be mothers and not be friends, and hold their kids accountable. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times, nowadays, parents want to be friends. They don't want to be the parent. So by the parents wanting to be the friend first, the kids don't respect them as the parent. So and I know that one of the parents know exactly what happened. Like, I've had multiple people come to me that she's telling her kids not to say anything, but you don't want them carrying around that guilt, because you're not gonna like the karma that God gonna bring back around. So I wish that they would just say, look, we gonna help this woman get some type of healing power. Like, we're gonna go downtown, and we're gonna tell the truth. And just they can still hug and kiss their kids. Nothing from tonight is going to bring NeSean back. But I'm just hoping that these parents or relatives of them is going to see this, and they're going to understand that there has to be accountability. You know what I mean? Like, accountability. Like, we got to have accountability. Like, people like to be quiet on a lot of stuff, and I don't know if y'all can see this, but ever since I got my little fed up bracelet, I normally wear it every day, because like you fed up with a lot of the BS going around, and hopefully that this can help bring accountability, because she hurting, like, and and a lot of people try to tell her how to act, what she should say, and you cannot tell her how to act and what she should do if you have not went down that road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now, you guys, we're gonna go into this last clip. When we come back, we are going to give Jason and Charlotte the opportunity to speak and say, whatever is on their mind as well. So here we go.
Of the violence, and enough is enough. It stops right now.
With candles in their hands,
our praying will not be in vain.
Community members prayed for victims of gun violence and their loved ones.
Have your way, Lord.
In just 1 week, 5 people were shot and 4 were killed in Roanoke.
This around here is ridiculous. It gotta stop. Like, every week somebody is dying, and it don't make no freaking sense.
LaShawn Divers lost her son almost a year ago. She says he was 16 when he was shot and killed while laying in bed.
The pain that I feel, I don't wish that on no parent. This pain, like missing your child, wanting to hear their voice, wanting to smell them, wanting them to call your phone, just fixing them their favorite food.
Divers says gun violence has only increased since her son was murdered. Now she fights against the violence in his memory.
Anytime that something goes on about gun violence, anytime there's something said, if I can come and I can say my son's name, NeSean, I'ma stand there and do that for my baby.
Amen.
FedUp co-founder Rita Joyce says it was very important to host a community prayer and show unity.
To make sure that the city understands that we have had enough. We are fed up with gun violence.
Divers would like to see more investigators hired to solve crimes and wants the community to start speaking up.
Because if it was your daddy, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your mama, you would want somebody to say something and give them justice. Even though it's not going to bring your family member back, you will want somebody to say something to speak up for them.
Joy says the anti-violence group will host a vigil in every quadrant of the city. In Roanoke,
Hey y'all, it's your girl Demissus. Demissus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Or you can call me Miss Peachy. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight on Peachy News Edition. One of my favorite editions because we have the families that come on. So if you are a special guest family on tonight, thank you so much for joining us. And most importantly, thank you for trusting me with your loved one's story. We also got my co-host Jason. What's up, Jason? And we also have our counselor lady, Miss Charlotte. Hey, boo. Thank y'all so much again for joining us each and every Wednesday where we turn our platform into the family's platform. So make sure y'all tune in 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Roku TV live. Also live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. I love you guys, but we gotta. I don't know what's going on. Why I keep cutting off like that? AD, was that you in the video? Was that standing next to you?
No, unfortunately, no, it wasn't me.
That was another mother who had lost her son. Her name is Denasia,
Oh,
and her situation is also another one that's the city did her wrong. Her baby was young, and he was was at a neighbor house, and somebody, a little kid, had took her son's life,
oh
and
wow.
they didn't hold anybody accountable. And just last year, the gentleman that owned the gun that she was trying to get charged at the time for her son ended up going over to one of these gas stations and taking a man out.
Mm,
And now he's in jail,
okay.
and all of that. But that just shows you the way that the city doesn't handle things appropriately. Because if he was taken care of then, he wouldn't have been out here to do something to somebody else.
Exactly.
I also feel that if they turn around here and they really give these people what they deserve, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, people stop going out here feeling like it's okay to shoot people and get away with it. But just in my son's case, hey, somebody killed my son 3 years ago and they still out here living their life, going to CC's, going to cookout, still got his mama, everybody's still out here like, everything is okay. And I like Jamar was saying, somebody needs to be held accountable, because I know if it was my son and he was there and something had happened, I'm pretty sure they would be knocking at my door trying to be like, somebody need to say something, you need to do something, you need to make your son do something, you need to say something. And both of the mothers know me. Like I said, Roanoke City ain't but so big. One of them I went to school with. The other lady, you watched my son. You watched him. You babysat him when he was little. You did all of that.
Girl, don't tell us this.
And it was your son who felt the need to pull the trigger and do what he did to my child. And you did not send a card. You did not send no flowers. You did not send a cake, a pie. You didn't even make your raggedy son go down there and confess to what he did when you already knew what was going on. And even the person who tried to fix everything because he was just scared to go to jail. You think my son wanted to die? You don't think my son won't scared? You don't think that, his life flashed before his eyes? So even if y'all do go to jail and y'all get years, you know what? You still get to get out. You still get to call your mom on the phone. She still can come down there and put money on your books. She can still visit you. She can still do all of that. Y'all want to know what my son is? In this iron right here. I can't. Hey, he can't reach back out and say nothing. He can't say, "Mama, hey, here I come. Let me come back." I can't take him back to the Potter house and put him back together again. I can't do none of that. My baby is gone forever. So if you don't have your child for 15, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, you still get to lay eyes on him. You still get to be able to go see him. You still get to have your child, even if he behind bars or whatever. So I feel like at the end of the day, somebody, like you said, need to be held accountable, because we all know growing up, you kill somebody, you go to jail, right? You play with a gun, somebody liable to get shot, and my son was the one that shot. My
Exactly.
son is dead. So somebody need to do something.
Now we do have audio, correct, Jamar? Now is this the audio of a confession?
Yeah, just play it and just hopefully that the moms are listening. Just go ahead and play it.
Okay. Before I play it, because I'm putting on the screen that the audio is coming. Before I play it, I want to bring up my peoples. So let's start with Charlotte. Charlotte, what do you have to say, boo? You on
Um,
mute.
just thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sticking in, Mr. Jamar. Just what a wonderful thing for you to be able to find and connect, both of you finding and connecting with each other, because there's so many families out here whose stories haven't gotten out and they don't know exactly what happened. So to be able to give some closure, even though necessarily the people haven't been accused of it, but at least you do have some closure as to what happened. And especially with somebody telling you that your child committed suicide and you were just with them, like that's just unbelievable that that would be the story. And it just, to me, even not opening up the case knowing that you have all this other evidence, I don't understand that part either. But just keep going, keep searching, keep in their face, keep telling them, keep hopefully one day that they will open the case back up. And it doesn't matter, again, I know kids will be kids, but at some point, as I work in the school system, but as I tell them, it's like a ripple. Once you throw that rock and that ripple keeps going, it doesn't stop. So it just keeps going. And sometimes it catches back up with you.
Mm-hmm. You better
Mhm.
say that. I hope y'all heard her.
God don't like ugly.
That's y'all school counselor. She may not be at y'all school right now, but she's a school counselor lady. And she has said what she has said. Okay? Now, Jason, we finna bring you up. You done sat down, you done listened to everything, you done took it all in. What's going through your head?
I had a few things that I was gonna say. I do have a question for Jamar still, but we've done a lot of shows where parents, mothers, people have lost their child due to gun violence, and that LaShawn, you made a statement just right now that kind of wrapped this whole show up for me. He was like, even if you did tell, like even if they were convicted, you still get to see your son. You get to still go see him. You still get to go put money on them, on their books, and visit them, send them letters, bring them gifts, all that shit, right? And then you made the visual of turning the phone and going, "Hey," and there's no feedback. Prolific, and I hope people understand that. You feel me? Like that's the difference. You feel me? That's the difference, right? I promise to you, I've been doing this for a long time and just being alive for over 40 years. I've never heard a story of someone in real life holding their loved one as they, you know what I'm saying, like take that last one and then it's your son. You know what I'm saying? The prodigal one, to be honest with you. You pray for that one. You wanted that one. You needed that one. And for that to happen is insane. So I hope that you guys realize, like, every parent that been on here, every mother that's been on here, every father that's been on here that has gone through this has that right there. Some might not have been there. Some was on the way there. Some was not even close or got to see them. Some haven't seen them. Some don't know where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like realize that stuff, right? So this is something that I'm really taken aback by, and I thank you for being so vulnerable with us and being as candid as you are, and still holding it together the way you are, because that is a true superpower, and that just shows you how truly gifted God is, because he's giving you a glow and a light on you that I haven't seen before. So thank you. I
Thank
really do
you.
appreciate you.
Thank
Girl,
you.
we're gonna give you that round of applause.
That's right.
Ooh, that's why I
Hey,
love Jason.
long live
That's right.
NeSean, man. Long live NeSean, for real, for
Long
real.
live Nation. Justice for my
You
baby,
feel me?
y'all.
Like real
Justice
talk,
for
Yes,
real
my
talk.
baby.
yes.
And then Jamar, man, how like you I know, like I've watched movies, man. We've all watched movies where it's like the doctors can't work on their patients. The detective can't work the case because they're too closely related to it. Whatever the case may be. How was it how are you able to like muster up the energy and the guts so to like really put your foot forward in this project, because you are closely related. You've encountered NeSean. You've seen them on, you know what I'm saying, week to week or month to month, however that may be. You've seen them. How are you able to like really do this?
Oh, I hit your mute button. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I always, just ask God just to give me the strength. I know He's not gonna give me no more than I can handle, and my heart is into it 1,000%. You know what I mean? If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it.
Facts.
Each time I take a case, I don't sit there and tell somebody like I guarantee you we're gonna. I guarantee you I'm gonna give you 1,000%. I'm gonna give you all of me, and I'm gonna do everything I can to try to get you the justice that you deserve. That's just my
Amen.
job. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like a job. Like it's the days I leave my full time, I jump right on it. On my off days, I work on it. It's times I may sleep 2.5, 3 hours. I'll get up in the middle of the night, come jump on the computer, work. I kept, watching the body cam footage so much, man, that it was just crushing. It's just, it's crushing. You know what I mean? And I use that right there to to work on broken relationships that I've had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you never know when it's gonna be your last time seeing somebody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you never know. Like I got sons, so I want them to be strong black men. I want them to understand that tomorrow ain't promised to you at all. And I got a mom who she probably watching this now that you know
Hey,
I
mama.
don't care what's going on. I go see my mama every night, and the day that I don't come through them doors and that I'm in the ground or I leave this earth before she do, I know it's gonna crush her.
Absolutely.
So I think about all of that, and I got a good network. I got a good network of people around me, that I bounce stuff off of. I got one of my close friends, like his name Craig Fry, former ATF agent. He's a private investigator. Josh Blake, former corrections officer. I probably talk to him more than I talk to anybody. Terrence Thomas, my friend Dwight Jones. He's a former county police officer, private investigator. So I bounce stuff off of them, scenarios off of them all the time. They help me out a whole lot, and maybe I might have to bring all them on here one night. You
Yes,
never know.
we would
Yeah.
Absolutely.
love that.
Absolutely.
I gotta say this before we play the audio. When you said your mom would be crushed
Hmm.
once you leave this earth, I just gotta say this. She may be crushed, but Jamar, just for the amount of time that I've known you, God is gonna say, "Well done."
Hmm.
And I know your mom. knows that God is gonna say, "Well done." Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind just as well. All right, now, LaShawn, your mama, we need your mama to talk. So I'm gonna play this audio, and when I play this audio, it's time for mama to
You
speak.
see my face?
Okay?
That's my face right there. That's why I get that face.
Yeah, I mean, she literally just spit you right on out.
You got it. You see the crew, right?
I see
All
it,
of mine
baby.
look alike. All of 'em, I ain't share no jeans with nobody.
You're so silly. We finna go ahead. We finna play this audio. Y'all, please let me know that y'all can hear it. Jason, put a little that church finger up that you can hear because we're doing it a different way this time. So just let me know that it can be heard. I'm gonna start it with the ringing to make sure we can hear it. Jason, can you hear it? Okay.
Hello. Hey, Tashawn, let me ask you one more question, bro. Yes, sir. So when Tashawn, I said Tashawn, shoot, when Devontae, when he shot NeSean, what did he like? What has he been threatening you? Like, because I want to make sure that you good. I want to make sure that he's not threatening you or anything.
Nah, so when it happened, like he was, I ain't even gonna lie, he was like more scared than I was. Like,
okay,
like oh snap, like what just happened? Like,
so how come you think he didn't tell the truth from on the first time? He was just scared.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after he shot him, he just went into cover up mode?
I wouldn't even really say that because Vaughn is not. I know Vaughn is not no. Oh, I'm gonna cover up. I feel like he wanted to say something, but like he thought he was gonna get charged. With
Okay. Yeah, I understand that, man. And he's a kid. I mean, I would be afraid too. Like, you know what I mean? But he didn't maliciously like say, "I'm gonna kill NeSean today." That was his friend. I'm sure he loved him. You know what I mean? But, he still want to tell the truth because, so NeSean can rest in peace or his family will have closure. I appreciate you being honest with me, and I'll see you Sunday at 11, okay? I probably just need maybe 15, 20 minutes of your time, and then that'll be it, okay?
Yes,
but
sir.
Thank you for being honest with me, man, because like I said, I knew Devontae shot him. I just needed, an eyewitness to be honest with me and tell me the truth because, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was your family I was working for, I would do the same thing for them. And I appreciate you being honest with me, man. And I'll see you Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, take care.
Whew. That's heavy. That's real heavy. I don't know no other way to say this. Jamar, why this ninja ain't locked up or why is he walking free? You literally just have it right here on audio. Did you turn the audio in? Did you hold on to it for PGT time? Why why he ain't locked up?
I turned in, everything within 48 hours, Of course, I called Sean, let her know what I had. I turned everything in, And like I say, I don't know. I'm just hoping that, like I said, this right here will reach the parents of both of the young men. And they go in there and slap them upside the head and drag them downtown. That's what I'm hoping for. Like,
Okay.
hold
on, Jamar. Hold on.
Because if this was little Benjamin.
Hold on one second, LaShawn. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on. We just heard this video, this audio. When was this turned into the police, detectives, whoever it's supposed to go to? When was this turned in? And Jamar, please tell us if you can. What did they tell you when you turned this in?
They just told me that they would follow up on it. That was the conversation I had with the detective. He said he will follow up on it, and that's all I kept getting was that he will follow up on it. I will follow up on it. I'll follow up on it. I did hear that he went and spoke to the actual shooter and spoke with him, and then everything went radio silent. But of course, like, listen, I've made this clear. Like, I'm not going to dog Roanoke City Police Department because like I understand what it takes to build a case, and I do understand that it may be something else that they require. I felt like I gave them enough, and I'll stick by that to the day I leave this earth. Like y'all heard, everybody heard it. I don't know what else they need. I felt like honestly that maybe the state police, and I voiced this, the state police, Virginia State Police could actually just redo the investigation and take it over. I'm pretty sure they'll come up with the same results that I got. But I have the slightest idea. Like, I gave 1,000% effort, and I know that that boy was telling the truth. He was telling 100% truth in there. Like, it was too much conviction in his voice. He even told me afterwards. He's like, it felt good to get that off my chest.
I'm sure
I
it did.
relayed that to Sean, like he did. But like I said, I'm not going to bash Roanoke City Police Department. Like, hopefully, the parents will hear this. That's my whole thing. Like, I'm just hoping a parent will feel Sean's heart and say, I can't believe that something I birthed into the world brought this woman that pain. So I want them to be held accountable. That wouldn't mean they don't, the guy that killed the Kirk guy, his dad was the one that ultimately turned him in first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I'm in court every week for other type cases, and when I'm in court, I see a lot of cases get dismissed for people just refusing to talk, people not showing up for court, stuff like that, and that affects a whole lot of cases because ultimately, a lot of the cases out here that's open. I know, Sean said it's closed. We're not claiming that, because we know that God opens a lot of doors that
Amen.
seem closed to us. But on a lot of cases, people, like, they just don't want to cooperate. They don't show up for court. They'll call Peter, Paul, and Tom on the phone and talk about, oh, I know who killed this person. I know who done this, but will not stand up in a courtroom, and tell the truth. It's not snitching when you see a woman whose heart is completely broken. Like, I know these kids have told this story to other people. So if the more people that come forward and say, okay, yeah, I was told this story, it's things that only a killer would know that other people know pertaining to not only this case, but other cases. You know what I mean? So if people start to open up their mouth more, come to court, testify, that's going to help solve a lot of cases, instead of people just sitting back whispering and talking about them. People need to start standing behind their word, and it's people with the same skin color as us are the ones that violate people and dog people for wanting to do what's right. You know what I mean? And I hate that breaks my heart because a lot of people intimidated to come tell the truth. And they're sitting back like, if I say something, man, I'm going to be looked at as this. No, you need to tell the truth. Like, tell the truth. Get up on the stand and tell the truth. And that's it. You'll respect yourself a whole lot more. Because when I've had people, Peachy, that I have so many people call me about cases. And what they tell me or the evidence that it'd be right on point with something. But they will not go and testify to it in court. And that's what hurts a lot of cases. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and let LaShawn's mom speak after the audio that she heard. After that, we're gonna go into our tribute video, and you best believe me and Jason got something to say before we play the tribute video. So, Mama, you heard the audio. You listened to everything that we had to say through this entire show tonight. You didn't say, hold on, I got something to say. Let me cut y'all off right now. I'm the grandma. Let me say this. You ain't do none of that. You sat back, you listened, you took everything in, and then you hear this audio. Please let us know how you feeling right now. And what do you want to say at this time?
My feelings cannot actually be put into words. He was my heart. I have 4 quadrants of my heart. And all my grandkids is in each quadrant. So a part of my heart is missing. The day it happened, I know this sounds crazy, but I truly believe that God don't make no mistakes. A week before, and it was a Saturday, and I saw, and I was sitting at the machine sewing, and out of the blue, I saw a vision of my grandson laying in the ground, and my daughter was screaming, "Call 911! My son been shot." It was so real to me. I called a couple of my church friends and a couple of my prayer partners. I said, I need y'all to pray with me. I told them what it was about. And we prayed about that thing. And I was crying like it had already happened and everything. I called LaShawn and they were in Richmond. I said, I need to talk to y'all when y'all get back here. Because I had a vision and it wasn't good. And they Sean, after I told him, he said, I don't go nowhere now. I stay home. I missed the mark. It was at home. I thought it was outside. So I missed the mark. So I felt like I failed him because I didn't pray for the right thing.
No, you didn't.
When that morning, that Saturday morning, he texted me. There were lots of times he would text me and say, "You up?" And I would say, "Yeah." What's up? What's going on? He said, "You hungry?" I would go and get him while everybody was asleep at their house. And we would go to IHOP and eat. And I would bring him back home and he would go to bed like he had been in bed all night long. So that morning, he texted me and he said, Nana, you up? I said, yeah. I said, you want to go? He said, no. He said, can you make me some sausage gravy? And his favorite was homemade sausage gravy and homemade biscuits. I said, you got it. So I got up, made him some homemade sausage gravy, made him some fresh butter biscuits, had it all ready for him. And he was excited about it. I came over to the house. We were sitting down, we were talking, and I had this weird feeling. I saw that little boy, and as many times that I have been at this house and that boy would come by, I would never let him in. So that morning, he has never said my name, but that morning when I saw him and he would come up the steps, I said, "Well, that's awful early for him to be here." And the child said, "Well, Mom, he comes over here and then." I said, "No, it's just isn't right." So he looked at me dead in my eyes and smiled and said, "Hi, Nancy." This boy has never spoke a word to me. And I looked at him and that feeling came over me. And I looked at LaShawn. I said, get him out of your house. I said to him, get him out of your house. She said, oh, Mommy, you just being mean. So all that day, I was like really edgy. I didn't feel right. But I thought that everything was going to be okay because he called me. He said, I'm going to come over your house. I'll probably spend the night because he was supposed to be helping me out that Sunday. And it's weird because I went to sleep around 7:30 and Sean called me around something after 10. and told me that he had been shot. It took everything out of me, but I knew that I had to be there for her. It took everything out of me because when I saw that boy, I knew who he was. It took everything out of me to not be behind bars wearing the orange jumpsuit that I see the people on my job wear. It took everything out of me to the fact that these same people that I work with looked at my grandson as just another black teenage boy that's out here and just got shot, just a typical gangbanger drug dealer. And I expressed that. It took everything out of me to not have a voice for my grandson. I even told the officers that I said, "What are y'all doing? This is a crime scene." The woman looked at me and she said, "Either you get back or I'll have you arrest. I'll arrest you." I said, "Well, have at it." The boy that I had never seen before had came over, and then all of a sudden they let him go.
Now, you said the same people that you work with.
I worked at PD for about 6 years. Then I left and I came back and I work at the sheriff's office, been there for 20.
Wow. Wow.
So how you think it feels? A fellow officer that just was like, I know the Commonwealth attorney looked at me. He said, "Nancy, we've worked together for a long time." I said, "Yes, we have." He said, "I'm sorry it has to come to this, but it just seemed like it was just three teenage boys that were just playing with a gun and your grandson just come there and got shot."
Oh.
I haven't had the opportunity to grieve my grandson until I get closure. And that I don't have at all. And when you see that some of the evidence, like we knew that they weren't going to get charged when we went to go and talk with the Commonwealth attorney and and the detective, because the day before, the one who did the shooting actually texted someone, "I just beat a murder charge."
Mm.
And we brought that with us to the meeting. And it was looked upon as, oh, well, And when a threat was sent, you know what was said to me? Well, your granddaughter had responded back as a threat as well. How was she supposed to respond?
Wow.
So yes,
Hmm.
am I bitter? Yes. I'm very disappointed in the system that I worked for and still work for.
And still work for.
Because I'm just another black female or person or whatever they call us.
That's a lot to take in, Mama. That's a lot to take in.
Annie, we both in here in this boat.
And if I could have given my life for my grandson, I would have stepped right in front of it.
I would have, yeah.
Well, we are about to play this tribute video. Jamar, he has to go. So he look at this. She got
Love
the
you,
picture. She
Jamal.
got the picture. He
Because I had
got
to make sure my baby walked across stage and got his diploma, regardless of what it was. We made this thing happen, honey. So
Amen.
I just still had that. This is another piece of a part of his life that in real life I didn't get. I didn't get to get his cap and gown. I didn't do that. But did I walk across stage for him? Yes, I did.
We
Do
all
he has
did.
his diploma?
Mhm.
Yeah, he got it. But this is the type of stuff that I've had to go through that they got the opportunity to have with their son. This is me getting my baby's diploma. and then I got to walk around with pictures and stuff in his life. Baby, I'm so back.
Jamar, is there anything that you want to say before you
I
leave?
love you,
Come
Jamar.
out of here. Yeah, we love Jamar.
Thank you, Jamar. Hey, make sure you be dodging them bushes, though. You know what I'm saying?
Now, thank you for having the Divers family on here. Thank you, Miss Nancy Divers, for you know holding her down tonight, making sure she be good.
You already know.
Yeah, you
You
done
did
real
great,
good.
LaShawn.
What do you mean, Jamar? I am a good citizen.
Yeah. But no, I really appreciate y'all, and thank you so much. And I'll talk to you later on in the week, Miss Davis. Okay.
All right.
And y'all
All
take
right.
care.
Thank you
All right.
so
See y'all
much
later.
for showing up. I
All right.
really appreciate it.
Okay.
Now, y'all, we about to go into this tribute video. We love you, LaShawn.
I love y'all too, and I thank y'all so much for letting, just allowing me to speak my son's truth. Um, of course, like they say, the streets talk. It's
Yes.
always, I think this what they said. No, I heard. It ain't no more questions after today.
There you
You know what
go.
I'm saying? I've done everything that these people have told me to do. I've followed all the protocols. I have went back. I done went to city council. I didn't talk to the mayor. I didn't turn around here and try to get them to reopen my son's case for the second time, and y'all still telling me no. I did go to the state police, and because the Commonwealth has already denied me twice, they're not going to reopen up. They not going to investigate it just because they still got to turn it back over to the Commonwealth. So if he didn't already denied it 2 times, they not going to open my son's case up. I'm at a door again. I'm at another wall. I don't know. And now I feel like I'm at the point where I'm standing on top of that wall and I'm hollering to be like, somebody help me. Get my baby his justice. This is not right. This is not fair. We're all broken. Everybody, our family dynamic is nowhere near where it was. We lost him, and the family dynamic is not what it is. The holidays ain't the same, ain't nothing the same. And it's like now for birthdays, we got to have memorial parties and stuff like that. Like that's whack, So I'm just hoping that from this, that something positive comes out. I'm hoping that justice is served. I'm hoping that, even though, like I said, it's not going to bring my baby back, somebody is being held accountable for my child not being here, and I can try to move on. Every day it's like my baby died yesterday. Like I said, I could tell you I could tell you everything. I could tell you what I had on. I could tell you what it looked like. I could tell you what drawers he had on. Like I can. Yesterday is when it happened to me every day, and I get up every day having to start anew with this weight that's on me. Don't matter if I'm having a good day, if I'm, what I'm saying, I could probably win $1 million tomorrow and my heart's still gonna be broke.
Exactly.
So I just appreciate Peachy for letting me come on here, girl. We've been back and forth for many a months now.
Many a months.
And
We done had these pictures for the tribute video for a long time, baby.
girl, and you done hold on to all of them, girl. And
I sure did.
I said, Peach, I'm ready.
I knew God was gonna circle it right on back. Right on back.
Thank you. And thank you, Jason, and stuff for, seeing it and speaking from your male point of view of how this is, you know what I'm saying? Miss Charlie, coming in here and things. I may have to call you in the middle of the night to be like, give me some strength and let me know what it is, girl. So I appreciate my new family I done found in y'all. And I appreciate everybody that has tuned in and has listened and has gave us support. Continue to pray for us. Continue to, speak positivity over here. Because when I tell you some days, I don't even know how I'm up and moving. I mean it.
I do have a question. When you guys tried to reopen this case a few times, what were you trying to reopen? Like, what was the charges that was trying to be reopened?
I just needed them to open up the case in general because they closed my son's case saying it was an accidental suicide. So I needed to have evidence to say, hey, it's not an accidental suicide. We ruled it wrong. Let's reopen the case and see what we can charge him and him with. And even with being presented with that, he gonna tell me that there's nothing that a private investigator is gonna be able to tell me that my certified officers haven't already given me. And I said, did you even open the folder? Did you even look at it? I mean, what is there? What is there that's going to be any different? And even when I brought up the autopsy report, he told me it wasn't substantial evidence. When I brought up, the everything that we all just heard. Oh, that's not substantial evidence. So you saying you're not opening my son's case back up? No, I don't feel that there's any need for me to open the case back up. Oh, okay, yeah. So now here we are again. It's still closed, and y'all still just, and I'm out here blindly.
There's a slew of charges that can be charged, that he can be charged with, or the person can be charged with. And that's what Jamar was saying as well. Because I just know the call was that recording is absolutely important. The only thing that I had a little hesitation. Now I don't know anything about law at all. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't know nothing about law at all. But I do know about questioning, right? And his questions did have a tad bit of leading to it, instead of it being more of that young man being open to it. So I know that call is important.
Yes.
But it wouldn't hold a lot of weight.
But we have stuff before and stuff after.
And that's important.
You know what I mean?
Is important.
Y'all just got a snippet.
Yes, ma'am.
But there's a whole lot. If we could be here for hours. But we have, you know what I'm saying? Because we got body cam footage. We have a lot of stuff that was just a everything that we got going on. So it was stuff that led up to that. There were conversations between them that led up to that. There were visits before and after that led up to that.
Either way, there's a slew of charges that can be put against that young man. So that's where we get into this conversation now, right? With Peachy and I, when we get into stepping into this aspect of what is to say before this tribute, because you know what? We don't need no more evidence. The truth is out there. The truth is out there, and a young man is gonna catch you one way or another. You hear me? And the worst part about it is, let's say you do live a fulfilled life, however old you get to be. You know what's gonna happen is some dreams. It's that thought process. It's that, ooh, I can't live with this no more. Or if you do, you know, God works in mysterious ways, and your number's always gonna get called, and it's gonna be from a very crazy standpoint. You don't know when it's gonna come or how it's gonna come. You just know life ain't gonna ever work out right, young man. You're gonna figure out, why can't I ever get ahead? Why can't I ever do better? Why is not the life that I think that I should be living the best that I should be living it? Well, you got a lot of karmic stench on you, my friend. You got your karma stink. You hear me? You're stinky out here. So, I don't wish you anything. I don't wish you well. I don't wish you your health. I don't wish you peace. I don't wish you peace at all. Not at all. I hope that every day that you go by, you're worried. You're looking over your shoulder. You're nervous. You got IBS syndrome. Your bowels are messed up. Like, I wish all that, in the chronic, right? Respectfully though. You know what I'm saying? But the stress is on you so bad that nothing works out right. You lose your hair. You're overweight. Your belly's big. All that. Everything you could think of, I wish that upon you, young man.
And they always say that God gives the worst revenge. When some of the families come on whose case has not been solved, I always tell them, it may never be solved, but God knows. God knows. And that person may wonder why my finger fell off. Why I only got one leg now? Where my arm go? Just anything. Why I'm cracked out. why I'm strung out on these drugs. Like, what is going on with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. But I gotta say this. I don't think that these boys was in this room and said, hey, I want to take NeSean out. Today is the day he need to go right now. So with that being said, you could have just got 1 year, 2 years. I'm just being honest. It's messed up. But let the truth be the truth. You could have just got 1 year or 2 years. But guess what? Because you decided not to just turn yourself in and say, I surrender, Lord. Now you finna go through this karma for the rest of your life.
And karma has no timestamp.
None.
So there you go. So forbid you have
It
children,
even
young
falls
man.
on your children, and
It
so we
goes
have
the
to.
whole lineage.
Yeah, we got to really be careful about the things that we and I know that as children we make dumb decisions and dumb mistakes, but we still got to be accountable for those things that we do. And being accountable, you never know what could have happened, what could have possibly come out of it, but just giving a mom some peace and some solace, knowing that, hey, I was a part of this, I turned myself in, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. I did not plan for this to happen.
Exactly. The parents out there, the mothers and the fathers that know their child did this. Take your child down there. Don't help letting them suffer for the rest of their life, because baby, they finna suffer. They finna suffer.
And this goes to teachings, right? Like, let's start teaching our people about accountability, right? I know we speak that a lot. I know Charlotte.
The buzzword. It's the
I know
buzzword.
it is a buzzword, but what it is consequences and repercussions, right? And we need to learn that not all consequences are bad. Like, it's just a cause and reaction. So since this action happened, there's now a reaction to it, right? There's
needs to
a
happen.
consequence to an action that you presented, right? No matter if it's good or bad. Like, if I were to pick something up improperly, the react or the consequence to it is I hurt myself, right? If I help you pick up something that is too heavy, the consequences is now we lift it easier, right? Like, those are the things that we need to, and that's how I teach my children. Like, there's always going to be some kind of consequence after your actions. So, and you have to live up to that. You have to own up to that. That is okay. We can fix it, but if you lie about it, if you hold the truth, then I can't fix it. There's no way to
Say that
work on
again.
it. There's no way to properly handle it if I don't know that truth. So tell the truth, man. It's going to be a lot better for you too. And anybody else that's out there. If you holding on to something, tell the truth.
Just let it be known.
Let it be known.
And then I'm gonna say this, and then I'm finna go on that. Let me go and take this down right now. Cause I'm finna say what I'm finna say. You may not like it, you may do like it. But I'm finna say this. You're watching. You're watching. You're watching, baby. You are watching right now. There's no one can make me believe that this person that did this is not watching this show right now. When
'Cause you wanna
LaShawn put
know.
that flyer out, baby, you, your mama, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your sister, brother, whoever, somebody in your damn family is fucking watching right now. And
Wanna
if
know
you
how
don't have
close?
enough sense to take this burden, help take this burden off of this young man and turn himself in, baby, you don't know how it's gonna come back. It could come back on you, auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, whoever. Pay attention. I don't know y'all. Don't care to know y'all either. But just listen to what we got to say. Cause ain't nan one of us, me, Charlotte, or Jason, ain't nan one of us dumb, stupid, or retarded. We know something. We've been doing this for too long.
Mentally impaired. We don't use that word.
I know I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. It came out.
It's okay. It's okay.
That thing just come out my mind. I be trying to bring it on back, but that just came out.
Yeah. So to
I
anybody out there, we
apologize.
do not.
I apologize to everybody out there. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. But sometimes I just get a little beside myself.
That's
Please.
okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. We understand the game, how the game goes. But there's no way that you can sit here and tell me that your life is good, that you are not thinking about this every single day. So with that being said, baby, here we go.
Ever since you were taken away from us, I've been shedding tears, having sleepless nights, wishing you were still here. Feel like I lost a while when I lost you. Feel like I couldn't go another day without seeing your smile. Yeah, I swear it's hard missing you every day. So unfair, so unfair. I feel this way. Yeah, I wish I didn't lose you. Asking God for strength each day to make it through the season. Can't stop these tears from falling so bad. I just hate the reality that I lost you. You was my everything. You made my life complete. So when you left this earth, it seemed I lost everything in life. 'Cause you were my heart, and now it feels empty. I wish God would give me one more chance to see you again, but it wasn't never meant to happen this way. I wish you didn't leave me so soon, but so unfair, so unfair. This way, yeah. I wish I didn't lose you. Asking God for strength each day to make it through the season. Can't stop these tears from falling so bad. I just hate the reality that I lost you. I hate I had to lose you this way. I'm sad I can't get you back. Missing your smile.
It's the sweetest
and you holding me.
Happy to the birthday. Say happy to the birthday.
You so badly, so badly. I'm missing you, yeah, yeah.
Man, they so goddamn gone beautiful. The whole goddamn gone family.
The whole damn family.
Come on, hey, Nana.
I know. That was
did
beautiful.
your damn thing. You hear
That
me?
was
You know what I'm saying? She started it. When you see us, we all look like.
Was that Papa holding the baby?
Yeah.
Baby, when Papa showed up with that baby, because I could see everything. Everybody that's watching can't see everything, but I can see everybody down at the bottom. When Papa came up holding that baby, Nana was like, she just broke me with that.
She ain't know none of the pictures I sent. And like I said, that's a Peachy Honey. I've been sending her a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And I know that we gotta get ready to get off of here, but I just want to show people my baby setup
Please do.
because I just be like, it's real, and this is kind of how we got to talk to my baby. We come in here and we talk to him, and he is up here. So
Wow.
this is my baby's little setup.
Yes.
So this is where
Beautiful.
he's at. And then we all add little trinkets, like if we got little stuff going on and things and functions that he's not here for. We'll add a little bit here and there, and got some flowers. I'm trying to get some greenery going on. They've been hanging in there since he been gone, honey. So I'm like, if I can hold on to my two plants, I'm gonna do that. But this is
Yes.
how we come and we talk to him. I open the windows up every morning. I say good morning, give him a kiss. I say good night, give him a kiss. When his sister wants to talk to him, she come in here, she talk to him. And once again, my thing is, y'all still can touch y'all's babies.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I got my son. And it can't be, I have no other words for that type of stuff. And it's just like, this is all we have now is memories and photos, and we have to have stuff together. His room is still the same from that day. His dirty clothes are still in the basket. His book
Wow.
bag from where he was about to go, and it still got his notebook in there, still got his gym clothes in there because he was going to start varsity football on Monday. His room is still how it was. So I just, once again, I appreciate everybody. And if you are out there and you do know what happened and you know what it is, please, y'all, please, 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 please have them go down there and do something. If somebody in the legal system can help me, tell me which way to go, what other steps that I can take, please reach out to me and help me. I don't want 3 more years or 5 more years or 10 more years to go, and we're still where we are, like from yesterday. So yeah, I really hope that this is changing for me and everyone else that's watching, and other mothers too who understand my pain. And I'm sorry that we're a part of this unspoken group, but hopefully something good will come out of this.
Exactly. LaShawn, one thing that I did not tell you,
What, P?
that I always let our guests in the show. Okay. I always let them in the show. I'm gonna give you a question. All you gotta do is answer it and make sure you put that church finger up when you're done. If you do not put that church finger up, you're gonna be standing up there looking at the camera like, okay, when she gonna put me down? When she
I'll
gonna
make
put
sure
me
I do the church
down?
finger and not the devil finger.
Church
So
finger.
I got you.
Oh, she said she got a mean one. Baby, thank you so much for just being by your cousin's side, being there for her, crying with her, laughing with her, just the memories that you have with her.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No,
Is there anything you want to say before we end the broadcast tonight?
I just want to thank you and Jason for your time, allowing my sister cousin to come on here and advocate for the boy. We miss 6'2". We love him. We love our family. And so I thank you for having a platform where other mothers, other families can share their story. And I really want justice for NeSean. He deserves it. You guys heard the video. It doesn't sound like a suicide to me. And
Not
on
at all.
suicide is a very serious topic. A lot of people lose their lives to suicide. Mental health is real. But from the evidence that was presented tonight, that's not what that was. NeSean loved life. He loved his sisters. He loved his nana, his papa. He loved his AD, his big Ron, his little cuz. He loved his family. That was not what he was thinking about. He was on his way to varsity football, waiting for us to celebrate him, his senior year, graduation, and everything after that. So
Bring my mama down to get a car.
exactly. Exactly. He wanted that nah credit. He wanted that that charger. So thank you. Thank you for cousin, thank you for allowing me to be a part of the journey with you.
Yeah.
I'm here every day, all day, from the tomb to the womb, honey. We together. So thank you, Miss Peachy
You're
and
so
Miss
welcome.
Peterson. Y'all have a good night.
All right, now if you could please stick around till I end the broadcast, AD, that'll be great. And Jason, is there anything you want to say before we end this broadcast?
Again, I'm gonna repeat the same sentiment. Thank you for being as vulnerable as you were today. Thank you for sharing your vision of your son, and we see him ever so clearly. You're exactly you showcased him exactly how we would imagine. I would imagine, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I could picture this 6'2", lanky Lockhead doing his, like, you know what I'm saying, real light skin too. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean?
Tell him, you know what I'm saying?
He in his bag with it too, probably squinty eyed and everything. You know what I mean? One of those.
But you
So I
seen
can,
him, and he
so
definitely was a fine specimen.
the whole family
Yes,
is.
he
You feel
was.
me? So I love that. I love the energy that you still possess. So thank you for still pulling wherever that is coming out of, and showcasing it to us exactly who you are. So we thank you so much for being here and sharing this story. I hope this reaches as many people as it needs to reach. I hope it resonates with as many people as it needs to resonate with. Again, that I might even want to just clip that part, and if it's okay with you, to show the realness of, you still get your children. I don't have mine. Hello. And then there's no response. That is extremely impactful. I'm tearing up thinking about it again, because that is the truth. There's so many parents, and especially mothers, that don't get that response back again. They won't ever get that response back again. They only get what the good God gives you internally. No one else hears it. The other sisters won't hear it. The youngest sister don't get to share it again. They're gonna have their own representation of what that sound like.
Yeah.
However, some people still get that original feedback. So I hope that sit with you guys and resonate with you. And before I get out of here, I always leave with this: continue to be your absolute best, because being empowered starts today. We live life, we love unconditionally, and we seek growth. When we do all three, we're in our alpha state. Stay primal and get after it. Like my big brother TJ will always say, whatever you do, make sure you do it big. You know what I mean? Protect your peace and drink water. Protect your peace and drink water. God is absolutely abundantful. He loves with no measure. He's abundantful, and he loves with no measure. I'm going to let that sit with y'all. And with that, I'm out.
All right. Boo! Is
Right. We made it, girl. We made it.
We did that. We did that.
And everybody else have been hanging in for 2.5 hours.
I know. And when I tell you your people showed up and showed out tonight, baby, your village is big. Okay? These people weren't playing tonight. They was in the building. Thank each and every one of y'all for the support that y'all has given to LaShawn tonight and each and every night, day, morning. Y'all, I'm sure if y'all coming here tonight, y'all in her everything. Y'all there. Y'all just there. So thank you. LaShawn, this ain't the last time that we gonna talk. We already know that we
I'm
locked
probably gonna
in.
talk to you this weekend, girl. Ain't no
Exactly. We locked in. Probably, I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
But I want to say this. I cannot express that the way you told that story. Whew, it was heavy. It was heavy. Like, you literally put us hanging off of your shoe. I'm gonna say that we wasn't all the way in because we're not in your shoes. But baby, the way you told that story, our foot was hanging off from the back. You know how your shoe be too little and flip flops, and the back of your foot hanging off. That's where we was. Okay, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You and a lady named Sonia from California. She came on. She told her story. The hospital. It was during COVID when her son got shot. And when they drove her son to the hospital, and she went to the door where the ambulances go.
Mm-hmm.
And they told her, we can't let him in because this is the ambulance side. You got to go to the other side. She gets to the other side with her son in the back seat.
Mm.
I think I'm sorry, in the front seat, back seat, whichever one. But she gets that black girl looking dead at her, still won't let her in. But she at the right door. And she had to sit there until they decide to open up the damn doors. And her son dying right there in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you my heart goes out to you and Sonia, and I'm sure we done had so many people and families on PGT time. And not one is greater than the next, and ain't one less than the next.
Yeah.
But baby, the way you told that story, LaShawn, you broke me down. And you done told me the story, but the way you told it tonight, you broke me down. Okay, I just gotta say that. And I thank you for trusting me.
Yes, baby.
With your son's story. I thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
Now it's time for you to end the show for us, baby. I'm not gonna ask you to talk to the person that did this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ask you to talk to them. I want you to talk to his mama. That's who I want you to talk to. However way you want to say it. Because at the end of the day, that's her seed. And she need to be the one that's telling him, you need to go down there.
Yeah.
And it's accountability. That's what it's all about. So that's who I want you to talk to. Okay? When you're done, I need you to put that church finger up. Because I'm telling you, you'll be sitting up there just looking and staring. You'll be staring. Mama, she'll be staring. And mama, for you, my heart goes out to you. You are a part of them. You are a part of the police department. You are a part of the detectives, the FBI, all of them. You're connected through them. And for them to not give you what you needed for your grandson that's just like your own child, I know that got to hurt. And you still got to go and work with them. I know that got to hurt. But baby, if I don't know nothing else, I know you know God.
I do. I do.
I know you know God. Because that's the only person that got you still going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we still gotta live afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still gotta pay bills afterwards.
That's right.
And I know if you could have just
when I read the
you know what I want to say.
when I actually read the report, the medical examiner stated that it was not a suicide and he was shot at a distance. He was right-handed. The bullet went in on the right side of his neck and came out the right side of his back. There is no way. No way. But when the medical examiner, spoke about his body, they talked about how prestige his body was, how intact it was. There was not a scar. his body was so prestige, the way they talked about it, and the only thing was all the damage that bullet did inside. And to have his little sister, what I wanted to say was when we did his birthday and we do the balloon release, his little 4-year-old sister was like confused for a moment. She said, well, what are we doing? We were releasing the balloons up. She said, are we releasing the balloons up to God? NeSean, is he going to come back? So she thought if we released the balloons up, he will come back.
He will come back.
That
Wow.
you can't explain to a 4-year-old why her big brother isn't coming back, and why we're releasing a balloon to him, and she's thinking he's going to get the balloon and come back.
Wow.
And then when you have to turn around and go back to work and see my fellow officer, yeah.
You know, you still working there. Everybody need their job and everything. I get it. So I ain't gonna even ask you to, tell how you feel and all that. Now, if we do a part 2 and we come back,
Because
then
PJ,
I
I
think
am
we
coming
on
back
that.
to do a part 2, honey. Because
So
something.
if we could play the body cam footage, that would be great. If we could come back and do that. If we can't, I get it.
Women.
Yep. We're gonna have to look part 2.
We're
Part
gonna have
2.
to do a part 2.
When I tell you,
We're gonna have to do part 2 because Hetty,
when
look,
I tell
we
you
going
we
on
don't
hour
have
3,
far
honey.
to go, we don't have far to go for the body cameras. We don't have far to go for everything that is included. Okay?
You got it all.
Like I said, yeah.
Well, LaShawn, we're gonna put together a part 2 to where we can spread even more awareness.
Yes.
And I would love, for your mom to be able to give more on how she feel. You know what I'm saying? Being that she still have to work with these people and help solve other people cases. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's your time, girl. I'm finna pull myself on down. This was an extended show tonight. But baby, like I told you, I don't rush nobody when it's time for them to talk about their babies or talk about their loved one, period. I don't rush them. So I'm finna pull myself down, and I want you to talk to the mother, and the father. If the father's still alive, the mother and the father, and how you truly feel. Don't forget that church finger. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Please tune in on Friday. Hopefully we'll have a show on Friday. We've been kind of skipping on Fridays. But hopefully we'll have a show on Friday with me and my husband, and we can return back to all of y'all. But until then, I love you guys so much. After LaShawn say what she's gonna say, we're gonna end the show with the tribute video again. And LaShawn, I will be sending that tribute video to you. You can have it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It's completely yours. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And please stick around just for like a minute or two after I end the broadcast so I can talk to you guys. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I hope today was very educational. I hope that any questions or any reluctantly that you had in regards to whether or not you needed to make your son own up to what happened. This goes to both of the mothers because both of you guys know me. And if the tables were turned, I would have my son say something. I'm broken. I can't get my baby back. And if I had known that opening up my doors to y'all sons was going to turn around here and be the cause of my child dying, I should have left y'all out there. I should not even had him be friends or anything of that nature. For 3 years, y'all been knowing what part both of your kids played in the death of my son. Nobody has said anything. Nobody has came to me. Nobody has apologized. Nobody has even, the key word of the day, held anybody accountable. I hope that after today, listening to everything, understanding my point of view, hearing my son's story, that you guys will come forth and make some things happen. And if not, if somebody is out there that can help me get justice for my baby, help me get justice for my son, help my family be at a little bit more peace than where we're at, knowing that we can't even go to the store on the regular, or we don't even go out like we used to because we don't want to run into nobody, and we don't need no problems, and we don't need no issues. So with that being said, I hope the Lord puts it on your heart. I hope that my son's spirit lays on y'all heavy, and I want what he's owed.
All right, I'm over here in the little corner because I do want you to let people know, like you said, if someone that can help you to get this case reopened, please let them know where they can find you at.
I'm attached to this Facebook. Um, if need be, y'all can reach out to Peachy and get my email address. Other than that, I'm open to any and all help. I'm open to anybody giving me advice on my next move. I'm just right now just lost as a mother. I've went through plenty of doors and they just keep getting shut, and I'm devastated. I'm hurt. My heart is heavy, and I just need help. I never thought that I would be this stereotype of being a black mother whose black son is dead at a young age, and then to let alone turn around here and have the injustice part of nobody going to jail and my son's case is just out there. I never thought that that would be where I would be at. So just anything, any kind of help, if anybody is willing to even help me with how to help my daughters to even deal with this, because I sometimes don't even know how to function my damn self. So to be at the age that they were, to lose a sibling when it's always just been us, if anybody can help with that part too, I'm willing to listen and take it all in, because my journey isn't over and my fight ain't over.
Amen. Amen. And I might be able to help you with finding someone that you can talk to, just as well, you and your daughters. Okay.
Okay.
So we are out of here, you guys. I love you, LaShawn. I love you, Mama.
Me too. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as
Sorry
well.
it was on this kind of occasion, but it was nice meeting you.
It was definitely nice meeting you too. And my prayers goes up, and they up and stuck, because I know God hears everything that's going on Peachy Tea Time. So I love you guys, and we're gonna show this video one more time, baby. Rest in peace, NeSean.
Justice for
Justice for NeSean, baby.
Ever since you were taken away from us, I've been shedding tears, having sleepless nights, wishing you were still here. Feel like I lost a while when I lost you. Feel like I couldn't go another day without seeing your smile. Yeah, I swear it's hard missing you every day. So unfair, I feel this way. Yeah, I wish I didn't lose you. Asking God for strength each day to make it through the season. Can't stop these tears from falling. strength each day to make it through the season. Can't stop these tears from falling. So bad. I just hate the reality that I lost you. I hate I had to lose you this way. I'm sad I can't get you back. Missing your smile.
It's the sweetest
and you holding me,
happy to the birthday. Say happy to the birthday.
you so badly, so badly. I'm missing you, yeah, yeah.
Return, please return. Please return, please return, please return. Thank you for watching.